This video is designed to assist with the installation instructions for ASTA 200 series commercial sheet doors. The Model 201 is produced with the highest quality and durability in the industry. Our Model 201 is available up to 12 by 16 and our Model 201 HD is available up to 20 by 18. The Model 201 is the perfect choice for any commercial application. Safety is foremost, and installation should be executed by licensed qualified door professionals. All ASTA products must be installed by a licensed qualified professional door company to qualify for our warranty. Installation without proper tools and knowledge can result in personal injury. This video is designed to assist a professional in the installation of ASTA 200 series commercial sheet doors. Before getting started, be sure to inspect all of the shipped parts and account for everything before commencing any work. For questions and technical assistance, contact ASTA Customer Support at 770-974-2600. Use correct lifting procedures and equipment during installation of this product to avoid injury or damage. Do not remove or cut the bands which hold the door in a roll. You will be told at a later time when to remove it. No guarantee will be given or responsibility accepted by the manufacturer if the door is not installed as instructed. For proper operation, follow the instructions as given. Please review all the steps before beginning. Verify the opening width and height match the door you are preparing to install. Check if the door jambs are plumb. Check if the floor and header are level. Verify you have the proper headroom and sideroom clearances. For headroom requirements, you will need between 20 to 24 inches of vertical clearance to the ceiling or any overhead obstructions depending on the height of your door. You will also need 20 to 24 inches of horizontal clearance measured from the face of the wall above the header projecting back into the building. Refer to the charts below diagram 9 of the installation instruction sheets for the outside of bracket, side room requirements, and the end of axle clearance requirements. These dimensions may vary by model and/or type of operation. Note, the X dimension includes 2 inches to allow the bottom angle to pass when spinning the door to pre-tension the springs. If headroom is limited, you can deduct 2 inches from the X dimension and tension the springs using a pipe wrench. Mark the horizontal position of the support brackets. Mark the vertical dimension of the support bracket dimension Y by using a transit or water level. The door must be installed level. Drill holes and fasten the brackets with the proper wall fasteners required to obtain a solid mounting. Use through bolts on soft block or brick. Verify the minimum headroom requirements and dimension X on diagram 9. If insufficient, lower the brackets until dimension Z on diagram 9 is obtained. If the bracket is lowered more than 2 inches, this will reduce the clear opening height. The guide height should be reduced accordingly. Install the 4-to-1 pocket wheel chain hoist assembly. This assembly can be installed on either side of the door, creating a left-hand operated door or a right-hand operated door. Remove the spring clamp from the selected drive side and replace it with the nylon spacer provided. Install the 40-tooth 3-inch ID sprocket to the end of the drum on the preferred side of the door and bolt into place with the 3/8-inch bolts provided. Slide the pocket wheel chain hoist assembly onto the door axle and align the sprockets parallel to each other. Connect the drive chain around both sprockets using the master link provided. After the door tension has been adjusted, which will be shown on step 6, tighten the set screws on the top of the pocket wheel chain hoist assembly. Install the 8-to-1 pocket wheel chain hoist assembly. This assembly can be installed on either side of the door, creating a left-hand operated door or a right-hand operated door. Do not remove the spring clamp from the selected drive side. Install the 72-tooth sprocket using the 3/8-inch fasteners. Slide the pocket wheel chain hoist assembly onto the door axle and align the sprockets parallel to each other. Connect the drive chain around both sprockets using the master link provided. After the door tension has been adjusted, which will be shown on step 6, tighten the set screws on the top of the pocket wheel chain hoist assembly. Install a 2000R chain hoist assembly. The chain hoist assembly is handed, so be sure to order your door according to the desired hand of operation. This door has an extended bracket to receive the 2000R chain hoist assembly. Install either the 40-tooth sprocket 2000R-40 or the 72-tooth sprocket 2000R-72 to the end of the drum on the correct door side, matching the side with the extended bracket. Install the chain hoist assembly onto the hoist support angles on the extended bracket by using the 3/8-inch hardware provided. Insert the 3/8-inch hex bolts and 3/8-inch flat washers through the chain hoist assembly and exit the support angles. From the support angle side, attach a 3/8-inch flat washer, a 3/8-inch lock washer, and a 3/8-inch hex nut. Align both sprockets parallel with each other. Connect the drive chain around both sprockets using the master link provided. The 2000R-40 chain hoist assembly has a 40-tooth sprocket, and the 2000R-72 chain hoist assembly has a 72-tooth sprocket. When using a 2000R-40 chain hoist assembly with a 40-tooth sprocket, remove the spring clamp on the drive side. Install the nylon spacer provided, then replace the spring clamp against the nylon spacer. When using a 2000R-72 with a 72-tooth sprocket, do not remove the spring clamp from the drive side. Install an EO kit for use with an operator. The EO kit can be installed on either side of the door, but always match the sprocket with the hand of the motor operator. Install the EO sprocket on the end of the drum on the preferred side of the door and bolt into place with the 3/8-inch hardware provided. Make sure the flat round washer and the spring clamp are slid against the bearing on the end of the drum. Tighten the set screws securely on the spring clamp assembly. The spring clamps hold the door in position on the axle. If the door is not centered in the opening, you can loosen the bolts, holding the spring clamps in position. Slide the door up to 1 inch in either direction, and then retighten the spring clamp bolts. Position the door assembly. Place the axle clamp onto the door support brackets. Lift the door assembly up onto the support brackets. Position the door as close to the header as possible. Allow room to spin the door at the appropriate step. Do not allow the door curtain to scrape the header. Do not use forklifts or genie lifts with unprotected arms or forks. This can cause irreparable damage to the door curtain. Install the axle hardware for manual push-up operation. Confirm the axle clamps are under the door axles. Place the 3/8-inch U-bolts over the door axle and through the axle clamps. Fasten the U-bolts using the 3/8-inch hardware provided. Tighten securely. Install the drive side axle hardware for reduction chain hoist assemblies and for EO kits. Confirm the axle clamps are under the door axles. Place another axle clamp and the keeper plate on top of the door axle. Fasten the bottom axle clamp, the top axle clamp, and the keeper plate with the 3/8" hardware provided. Tighten securely. And make sure the nuts are located on top of the keeper plates. A minimum of 40 pounds of torque is required to properly secure the hardware. Install the non-drive side axle hardware for reduction chain hoist assemblies and for EO kits. Confirm the axle clamps are under the door axles. Place another axle clamp and the keeper plate on top of the door axle. Fasten the bottom axle clamp, the top axle clamp, and the keeper plate with the 3/8" hardware provided. Tighten securely and make sure the nuts are located on top of the keeper plates. An extended keeper plate is used for the non-drive side for doors above 16 feet by 16 feet only. The optimal position from the wall for the door axle on the brackets depends on the height of the door. The dimension from the wall is approximate, so adjustment may be required. To spin the door for pre-tensioning, the spring may require moving the door away from the wall to allow the bottom bar to clear the header. If so, loosen the hardware holding the axle one side at a time and slide the door axle towards the wall to its best position. Be very careful as the door will be under tension at this time. Install the chain clip approximately 4 feet 0 inches above the floor on chain-operated doors. Installation must be secure. Apply pre-tension to the springs by rotating the door 2 turns in a forward direction. The bottom bar will start in a 6 o'clock position, then moves towards the inside of the room, then moves up to the ceiling, then moves back toward the wall, and then moves back down toward the floor twice. If you're unable to rotate the door to pre-tension, use a pipe wrench to rotate the axle in the opposite direction. With one person on each side of the door, each person should firmly place a large pipe wrench on the door axle. Pull down to apply tension incrementally until you achieve 2 full rotations of the door axle. Then tighten the axle hardware. For tension adjustment, repeat this step if necessary. The door is now under tension. Before cutting the bands, take hold of the door roll by the bottom angle. Cut the bands and bring the curtain down no further than 1/4 of the height of the door opening. Secure the chain over the chain retainer or wedge a wood prop between the bottom angle and the door roll to prevent upward travel. Install the door stops and the slide bolt locks using the hardware provided. Electrically operated doors still require door stops to be installed. Slide bolt locks on motor-operated doors should only be used together when electrical interlocks are used. Windlock certified doors require slide bolt locks to be installed for proper wind load protection. Electrical interlocks are highly recommended. When installing slide bolt locks, the threads from the truss head bolts protruding beyond the self-locking nut should be removed to a flush position to prevent the door from hanging up on the head stops. Clamp a pair of vice grips onto the threads and break off the excess if necessary. Lace the 1/4" nylon rope through the center hole in the bottom bar and tie a knot securely on both ends of the rope. Do not tie the rope into a loop, as this could catch the center antenna of your car and cause damage. Attach the head stops near the top of each guide using the 5/16" hardware provided. The bottom of the head stops on the guide should be no more than 1 inch higher than the door header. If not, cut the bottom of the guides to match the opening height and relocate the slide bolt notch at the bottom of the guides. For non-windlock doors, raise the door curtain so the bottom angle is approximately 3 inches below the header. Slide the guide over the door curtain and position against the door opening, allowing 3/8 inch clearance from the edge of the curtain to the rear wall inside the guides. Install the fasteners at this height. Lower the curtain into the guides, slowly maintaining the proper clearance, and stop 6 inches above the floor. Check the guides for plumb using a 4-foot level. Install the bottom fasteners. Raise the door curtain and install the remaining fasteners. The fasteners should be located approximately every 24 inches, starting 6 inches from the finished floor. Bend the lead in at the top of the guide where the door curtain enters the guide to a 45-degree angle. For windlock doors, use the same procedure, except allow a 1/4 inch clearance between the curtain and the windlock spur inside of the guides. Be sure there is sufficient clearance for the windlock clips to enter the guides. For Windload certified doors, refer to the sealed shop drawings for fastener and anchor type and frequency attachments. Spray silicone lubricant in the guides for ease of operation. Check and adjust the spring balance. If the door lowers easily and raises hard, more tension is required. If the door lowers hard and raises easily, less tension is required. For all door drive types, before adjusting the springs, raise the door into the open position. Secure the door by the following methods. First, try to tie the rope around the door roll. Second, try to place a clamp at the top of the guide channel to secure the curtain in the guides. Warning: when the axle clamps are loosened, the spring will be very strong. You will need 2 people to adjust the door tension safely. Each person should firmly place a large pipe wrench on the axle. Loosen the axle clamps and pull down for more tension and up for less tension. For pocket wheel chain hoist doors, remember to loosen the top set screws on the hoist prior to adjustment and retighten securely after the adjustment. Repeat this step if necessary. The top draft stop comes standard with insulated doors and is optional with non-insulated doors. Pull the door down and lock the door. Go to the outside and mark a line on the raised corrugation of the door curtain above the header. Raise the door 2 foot 6 inches from the floor, or until the mark is accessible from the inside. Place the top draft stop in position of the raised corrugated section marked with a line. On one end of the door, secure the top draft stop with Tek screws. On the other end of the door, stretch the top draft stop slightly and secure with Tek screws. Install the remainder of the Tek screws at 12 inches on center while keeping the draft stop on the line. Install a jam brush seal. A 7/8 inch aluminum retainer and 2-inch brush seal come standard with insulated doors. Insert the brush into the retainer. Line up the retainer along the jamb so that the brush seal fills the door corrugation when the door is in the closed position. Attach the retainer to the jambs using appropriate fasteners at 6 inches from the floor and the header and 24 inches on centers minimum. Door curtain drags in the guides. Check the door support brackets for plumb. Adjust the location of the guides for 3/8 inch to 1/4 inch side clearance, top and bottom. Door drum assembly may be set too close or too far from the wall. Use the slotted holes on the support brackets for adjustment. Check guides for foreign matter, dirt, etc. Check for damaged guides. Adjust lead-in bend at the top of the guides. Door operates hard in one direction. Check all of the above points. Recheck step 10. Chain jumps off of chain gear. On electric-operated doors or chain hoist-operated doors, check for sprocket alignment and proper chain size. Door does not contact floor level. Use a spirit level to check whether the door or the floor is out of level. If the door is out of level, proceed to check the following points. Check if support bracket and guides are level and plumb. Roll the door all the way up and down and see if the curtain rolls up straight onto the drums. The end of the door should be square. If the door is cone-shaped, go to the next service hint. Door does not roll up straight. Check all points regarding the curtain dragging in the guides. An alternative solution to correct the coning of the door is to lower the curtain to the floor and determine which side of the bottom angle touches the floor first. Raise the door to the open position. Secure the hand chain and remove the guides. Lower the curtain down to the floor level. Install a drum wedge on the side of the door which touched the floor first. Make sure the drum wedge is securely placed and will not fall out. Proceed to step 9. The drum wedge is placed inside the curtain above the header between the coil and the curtain. Do not stand or walk under a moving door. Keep the door in full view and free of obstructions while operating. Do not allow children to operate the door. Repairs or adjustments should be made by a trained service person using proper tools and instructions. To avoid injury, do not put fingers between the door and the guides. Read the installation instructions in its entirety for the door and for the operator.